I found the Lake Erie Brain Performance Institute online, particularly at Zenger.com, which is the maker of the product I was renting, NeurOptimal. I found Jean's contact information, shot her a couple emails, and then had one phone call. And I live in Columbus and made the drive up to Cleveland to meet her and get the system. I wanted to try NeurOptimal for a few different reasons, mainly to increase my mental performance. I write fiction books. I also work as in internet marketing, and I wanted to have more focus, more attention, concentration, that sort of thing. Particularly with my writing, I wanted to be able to get rid of my own fears when it comes to writing and eliminate a lot of the procrastination of actually starting writing. So those were what I wanted to get the most out of NeurOptimal. I made the drive up to Cleveland and got to meet Jean from the Lake Erie Brain Performance Institute. And she was just such a cool lady. I could tell right when I got there that we were really going to hit it off, and we did. She was a fun person to talk to. She was extremely well educated in a lot of the things I was interested in, not just NeurOptimal, but some other products and things of that nature. But during the session, I told her that I was going to use it both on myself and probably on my wife. So she had me practice by hooking her up and putting all the sensors on, and really made me feel comfortable that when I was done, I knew exactly how to set up the system and run it, and really had everything I need. And she, of course, reaffirmed that if I did ever run into any troubles, she was always an email or a phone call away, and that turned out to be absolutely true. There were just a couple questions I had about the system later that I didn't think of, and she was extremely responsive. I decided to rent NeurOptimal for a couple reasons. One, I wanted the convenience of doing it from my own home instead of driving back and forth to a facility anytime I wanted to do a session. The other was cost. I thought it would be more cost efficient to run mini sessions, and I had the mindset that I was going to do at least one session a day. Well, I found out that your brain takes a little bit more time to process the information, so I reverted to doing it every other day. But still, being able to do 15 sessions in a month equated to a little bit more cost savings than if I would have done the manual approach and gone into the facility. The results have been absolutely fantastic. Right within the first 5 sessions or so, I could feel something was happening, and I couldn't quite maybe put my finger on it. I felt more relaxed, more calm, both during the session and for a few hours afterward. One of the things that I first really noticed was my speaking was a lot better. I was able to communicate both in front of people, and also I do some public speaking, and I was just able to let the words flow out a lot better. I avoided using filler words like which I used to say all the time, and I still say it a little bit, but my voice, my confidence when I speak got a lot better. The other thing I noticed was, and this is again something I had no intentions of expecting this going in, but I tend to be introverted by nature, and I was in situations where I was in a crowd full of people talking amongst friends and stuff, and I found myself just a lot more calmer than I normally am. And usually after being around a crowd of people for a couple hours, I felt emotionally, or not emotionally, but just mentally exhausted afterward. But I remember one night I was with friends and we were talking for like 2 or 3 hours, and afterwards I felt the same afterward as I did before, and that was something that never ever happened to me before, being an introvert. From sessions 6 through 10, things just became more and more pronounced than they were before. All the benefits I was slowly starting to see through the first 5 sessions, it just became more apparent that it was doing the trick. One example that I remember was golf. Now, I had read before that it could supposedly improve your golf game, and I was a little bit skeptical about that, but I'm in a Monday night golf league, and I shot a 39, which I've been in this golf league for 3 years, and that's the first time I've ever shot in the 30s in the golf league. When I've played a few times since then, and every time I've golfed, I just feel a lot more calmness when I'm standing over the ball, particularly putting, where I don't think so much about making it, missing it, and worrying so much about the shot. And I'm just able to stay more in the moment when I'm golfing, and it had really great results for me. Sessions 11 through 15 was when I finally started seeing improvements in my writing, which, as I said in the beginning, that was the reason I wanted to use NeurOptimal, was to be more focused and also get out of my way and not be so afraid of writing. And I really noticed my word counts per hour, which is what I usually track, went up a lot. And the words just flew out a lot more effortlessly than they did before. Usually when I write, I'll type a little bit, and then I'll think, and then my mind will wander. But while that still happens, of course, I let the words flow out a lot more easily, and I write a lot faster, and I think better than I used to before. Using NeurOptimal has been an absolute life changer for me. I highly recommend it if you're someone that wants to either boost your mental performance or have anxiety issues or sleep problems. It can potentially help you with so many different things, and it's really done everything I've hoped it for and more. There's been so many surprises along the way, and they've all been such positive changes. And working with the Lake Erie Brain Performance Institute has been incredible. Jean has really been terrific. She's answered so many questions that I had, and really been that support system that has made the whole NeurOptimal experience just that much better.